Well, it's billions in the red, but still spending your green. The U.S. Postal Service caught springing for parties, movies, even booze on taxpayer money. A government watchdog identifying nearly $800,000 in, quote, imprudent spending. My next guest is concerned that this is just a preview of coming attractions if the government takes over health care. George Allen, former Republican governor of Virginia, joins us now. Wow, this is, I mean, listen, the post office is losing a lot of money to begin with, and yet they can spring for stuff like this?
Yeah, Charles, you know, most Americans recognize that whatever the government program is, no matter how essential it is, it's waste. There's a constant waste in it, and, you know, here they are eating all sorts of things, expensive meals and all the rest, and here are folks that are working for a living and their money's confiscated in taxes to pay for these sort of things. It's just galling. In fact, they found they're having crab cakes and beef Wellington. Meanwhile, we're all eating cupcakes and beef jerky.
Golly, I can tell you, George, I never even had beef Wellington before. But tell us, though, now, how do you make the connection? Do you think they're going to do the same thing with this health care? It'll be just one giant pot of money for parties?
Well, I'm not saying they're going to have parties. They'll have waste in it. But what are we getting, Charles, those of us in it? What we're getting hit with is higher taxes. We're getting higher premium costs. You're seeing for the states that have unfunded mandates to it. You're going to have, generally speaking, a lower standard of health care, while the social engineers and these elites in Washington are imposing this on the American people. And it's something that's going to be harmful to small business, job growth. And on top of it all, it's an experiment. It's a health care experiment that's going to cost $1 trillion that we don't have. And the last thing we need is more debt for these sort of experiments. The people of America need personal responsibility and freedom, not dependency on the government.
You know, on the screen we had the $14,000 on movie tickets, $77,000. I don't know, $14,000. I mean, that might have been Avatar's take over the weekend. This is just absolutely incredible stuff. What can we do about it? Because that's what I get the emails about, and I'm sure you must also. What can people do about this?
Well, you know, Charles, the folks that deliver our mail in the snow and all this, we appreciate them, but there's the higher-ups in there who are getting all this fancy meals and perks and so forth. And what can be done is what you're doing, Charles, is you're letting the people know what in the heck is going on. And the American people are disgusted with this deplorable behavior, and it needs to cease. And those who are involved in it need to be, in some cases, punished and maybe even fired. And the American people, I think, need to be stirred up, riled up, let their representatives know what they think about whether it's rationing of energy, whether it's this profligate spending and dangerous debt, or whether it's this takeover of our health care system. The American people want freedom and opportunity in this land, not dependence on the government with higher taxes, dictates, and mandates from Washington.
George, I want to digress a little bit. I watched the game last night. Does your brother understand? Does your brother understand what he's getting into?
He realizes what great improvement the Redskins need, and he's evaluating it at this time, and last night was quite an evaluation.
Last night was quite an evaluation. But I got to tell you,
Charles, what position did you play?
Actually, believe it or not, I played wide receiver. I was a few pounds lighter than I am right now. You know what? I had a few shrimps in my day as well, but never on a taxpayer dime. Before I let you go, because we got a hard break, do you think that we're going to have a lot of waste with this new bill? I mean, literally trillions of dollars worth of waste?
Well, you know, obviously the whole thing costs $1 trillion, and it's the wrong policy. The reality is look what they're spending on Nebraska and other states just to get the votes. That's a waste of our money.
Okay. Thanks, George. We'll be right back.
This is the time to put aside our differences and come together to praise God. Join Mike Huckett for Rejoice.
Would you like to go for a ride in that bike?
Okay.
Okay. Whoa, yeah. You see, the terms require you to keep the bike in this predetermined space. If you want to take the bike out, I'm going to have to charge you a penalty.
I can't really ride in this little space.
Well, you can't ride very far.
Even kids know an offer shouldn't come with ridiculous conditions. Why don't banks? We're Ally, a new bank whose no-penalty CD lets you withdraw all your money and bring it anywhere without a fee. It's just the right thing to do.